Session is, are we ready to go? So this session is focusing on teenagers, all right, because it's one stage in life that is very sensitive, and parents, should also be also sensitive to this particular stage, this particular phase, because the phase. So one of the things we quickly want to look at is comparison, because comparison sometimes leads to siblings rivalry, and for me that's unhealthy, and that's toxic, and parents must pay attention to that space, and we want to discuss that, because we've had teenagers complaining, saying, why is my mom or dad comparing me with my junior brother sister or with my senior brother sister? And I have with me again Benga and Nike, who will shed more light on how we should approach it, in terms of, how do we approach it? What do we say to our teenagers, even if they're not performing the way they should perform, and it's obvious. And of course, we're trying to help them. And I don't think parents would suddenly want to put their own children down. They're trying to help them. But again, we also need to watch the process through which we're helping them. How do we say it? When do we say things like that? So what's your take on this?
Okay, yeah, for me, let me use myself as an example here now. There was a time I'm the kind of person that is very close to my mom. And if anything happens, she tells me first before, she might not even tell my other siblings. So now, because along the line, my younger ones were saying it like, oh, my mom prefers me to them.
Oh, wow.
Which was kind of bringing rivalry, like you said, into the whole thing. Yeah. I'll just get to find out that, oh, they were saying some things and I am left out. They might be saying something ill about me. So when I got to my own maturity stage, I'll be like, oh, I think I need to step in.
Yeah.
And I think I need to tell my mom to be very careful. And I'll talk to her and she'll be like, I like you all equally. I said, if you like us equally, you need to portray to them that you like us equally. Because now you're making it look as if you like me more than them.
You're making it look like, please permit me in Yoruba language, Oluomo.
Exactly. Exactly. And I understand the fact that, yes, I'm a firstborn, I'm a lady, and so we get to talk more often. So I would say everything is still boils down to we the parent now. We should always try and keep the communication real and true between our children. When make them understand that, yes, there's no comparison between you two. I like you all equally and I want the best for you all. So you make them understand and see that, oh, this is just what I want for you. So everything is just based on communication. Yeah. Set the goals and make them understand and see things the way it is.
Yeah,
that's great. But looking at comparison, at times the parent does it unknowingly. They're just trying to get results. They're just trying to get the other person to be active. They're just trying to get the other child to be responsible.
Yeah.
So what they do is, can't you see your brother? Or can't you see that your friend? Or your friend, you did GCSE together, he scored better because he's always, going to read his books, doing his assignments. Those things are good things that you wish your children.
Yeah.
But there are better ways to approach it.
Yeah.
And we need to understand that people have different capacity. You can't force your child to be what they are not.
Yeah, exactly.
The truth of the matter is that what parents are forcing their children to achieve is what they have failed in.
Yeah.
So because they failed, they want to succeed in their children.
Yeah.
And doing that is the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So don't put unnecessary pressure on your child.
Yeah.
And if you see any one of them that is lagging behind, why don't we need to sit back and look at the child and look at what the child likes, what he loves doing. And if at all the child does not even want to do anything, maybe the child is just being lazy. If you just been, children can be like that. You just want to sit with TV or sit on the computer.
Yeah.
There are better ways to engage. You have to,
you
have to eat without protein to show that you are a well-trained child. So parents need to be healed of those things and understand the time that we are. And these children not suffering what you suffered is a plus. That's the way it should be. You can't suffer. I can't suffer a thing and I want my children to suffer it again. That means there's no lesson learned.
Yeah.
The reason why I went through what I went through is for others not to go through it again.
Yeah.
So parents need to be healed of their past.
And I think
focus on
the
future.
world, the world, we've moved on from the past. And it's not just this, you just said, it's not just about something that happened in Africa, it's across.
Of course, yeah.
Because if you look at the United Kingdom, for example, on radio shows, you see people coming out to say, well, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, in the boarding school somewhere, I was treated this way. I was listening to one yesterday, and the woman was saying, I'm finding it difficult to forgive my dad, the way he raised me, because it was a big battle. So it's not just us. And I also think, going back to my background, I think the school system also collaborated with our parents to do some of those things you mentioned, because many people, to start with, going into boarding house, they came out damaged. I'm telling you, because parents would just take them and put them in the boarding house system and just walk away. By the time they are out, they're just different, So, but I think we've moved away from that. And the world we live in now, you can't just do those things again. It's just practically impossible. And even if you look at the curriculum, school curriculum and all of that, you can't even do that anymore.
That's true. Corporal punishment is no longer in
it's
school.
no longer.
Beating is no longer in school.
No. So I think that's that. Also, I think from the teenager side, I think that there was the question of, if this marriage a business, it's about love, It's about love, but it's not just about love. And I think we also need to let them know it's about love, but it's also not absolutely about love. All right? Because you can't just base marriage on that alone. There are other factors, that when life happens, love will be tested.
Love is not enough.
It's not enough,
Love is not enough.
So in answering those questions, because they are learning, they are watching, they're watching their parents, they are learning, they come to church, they listen, they see all these things. Some of them have access to social media, etc. They see what is going on out there. So how do we help them? Because some of them, if they move from that particular age into their youth adult age, they begin to nurse fear of, do I want to go in or not? But we can begin to speak to them right now. This is my own way of looking at it. Begin to speak to them about foundation. Because I think for me, honestly, that is the starting point. It's not even love. The starting point is foundation. Because you can't build something on nothing. All right. So we need to begin to talk about foundation and all of that. And I'm also thinking, because one of the reasons why I believe God instituted marriage is for those of us who are Christian, is to raise godly children. All right. So in that kind of direction, our parent must be careful, because we're not teaching children based just on what we are saying.
They're watching.
Because they're watching our lifestyles, etc., etc. They're paying attention to all these things. All right. And then, of course, you also see people who today, they are married and they are replaying, what dad did to mom. Or what mom did to dad, because they learned that in the journey. And it's kind of fighting back now. So thank God for our generation. I think in terms of the scriptures, we know better. So we stay with that. So we can always assure them, yes, love is good, but it's beyond love. There are other dynamics to marriage. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pastor, I just want to say that it's something that will happen if you are not conscious about it. What you see for 10, 15 years of your life have a way of shaping the way you reason. And if you're not conscious about it, it will replay itself in your life. Even science agreed that you get some things from your parents, the genes, they are hereditary. So attitude, one of the things that I see is that the way I talk, my voice sounds alike with my brother. That's to say to you that there's something there's a gene connection between us. And when you live with someone for 10 years of your life, it's either you impact the person or the person impacts you.
True.
And what parent does to children is that we impact them the way we behave, not what we say alone. In fact, the children does not really listen to what we say, but what we do the most.
Yeah, I think my take again, going back to the word love, because usually at the very beginning we have this love, I love you and all of that stuff. But as you progress, you begin to discover you require agape love.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's where I'm coming from, where you begin to say, well, I have to do this thing sacrificially.
Surely.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? Because sometimes their attitude is thinking, so how do you want me to cope with that? I need agape love.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
able to
actually,
cope with that.
the thing you just said makes me remember when I got married, and I was like, the first month was cool, the second month, after the summer, I'm like, why did I even get married? Because it was like you were getting to know another person entirely that you've known from the past years. I'll be like, why did I even get married? Does it really worth it? So those things, if that mentality has been on me till we started having kids, it will definitely tell on the marriage.
Yeah.
And the kids will definitely be watching the way we'll be relating with each other. I'm like,
Yeah.
this person is not for me. I don't want to go into this again. So I think from there, that's where divorce starts. The plan of divorce starts setting in,
Yeah.
which is still going to affect the mentality of these younger kids we are bringing in. Somebody was telling me, a friend of mine was telling me recently that she doesn't believe in getting married.
Oh.
That she believes in, let's just live together as partner, because the father and the stepmother has been living together for years and they have grown-up kids. They just got married like a year back, which she doesn't believe in getting married. Just left. So those things our kids are watching, and those things are building up in their own minds. Some subconsciously it's building up, and they
So-
tend to live like that.
Can I say something about that? Because
Yeah.
that's another school of thoughts.
Yeah.
And the people of this generation are doing that simply because of, immediately I get married to you, you feel that I'm hooked to you. So I want something that will give me freedom.
Yeah.
I don't want to be say, okay, you can misbehave. If you misbehave, go your way. We are not married. We have children. Everybody divide what we have and take care of your child. I will take care of my child. But marriage is deeper. And that's why I tell to people, you don't need to crave for marriage.
Yeah.
Be ready for marriage. It's two different things. People are craving to get married, but they are not ready for marriage.
Yeah.
And that's why you see when people that crave for marriage get married, the first 2 years is big trouble for them. Because what they're supposed to have, planned for, build their mind towards, they will not start doing it in the whole thing, in marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you plan to get married, it's different from you are craving. When you crave for some things, when you get that thing, after having it, you throw it away.
Yeah. So you need to be prepared.
But when you
Yeah.
really know that this is what I need, you prepare to get it. By the time you get it, every day you see reason why you need to keep it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So people not getting married, living together, having children together is because they don't want to be committed forever.
Yeah.
And they know that yes, at the point we may get out of one another, or at a point you may misbehave. It will be easy for me to say, no, there's nothing concrete
Yeah.
that will make me to keep you.
Yeah.
So everybody can go their own way.
Yeah.
But as Christians, we should avoid that.
Yeah.
Because what the Bible is talking about marriage is because the Bible is linking us with Jesus as his bride. Jesus is our groom, we are the bride of Christ.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that God is trying to teach us.
Yeah.
That at the end, we are going to be married to Jesus.
Yeah.
And Jesus is going to accept, he has accepted us even in our sin. He
Yeah.
died for us.
Yeah.
So when you chose to marry someone, when you say, I love you, you are
Yeah.
ready to love the person in his weakness and help the person to be better.
Yeah. True.
So marriage is deep.
All right. So yeah, marriage is very deep. It's commitment. It's absolutely is commitment. Because if you're not ready for commitment, don't go
go
into
into
it.
it, yeah.
Don't go into it. It's lifelong.
And don't play around it. Don't play games like the people are playing games now.
It's lifelong. Absolutely
Open
lifelong.
marriage. I've heard open marriage.
Yeah. Open
Pastor,
marriage. Yeah. That's
open
also
marriage.
in the
We've heard
space right
about
now.
entanglements, all these things
Yeah,
that people are
yeah,
bringing into
yeah,
marriage.
yeah,
It's not marriage.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, go on.
sorry.
Yeah.
So I think majorly we as parents, we should just stay cautious of anything we are doing, because these kids, they are watching,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they have this brain like it gets stick. Everything you do gets stick. So you just be careful.
So can I ask you this, because you work with them every weekend, with the teenagers every weekend, so what has it been like? Working with them.
Yeah.
I remember, before you go in, I remember we used to have a sister, I think 3 years ago, before the next person came into, and then you took over from that person. When she was, because she had to relocate to another city. And I remember when she was leaving, we were doing sent forward for her and the husband. Pastor, I don't know if you
I was
remember.
around, yeah.
The children, the teenagers were crying. I think she was able to bond with them. They were able to relate with her on that level, you know. So being working with them, you know, because I think you were saying something. Why is it that everybody don't want to move closer to the team? But once you are in, you are in.
Yeah,
and then you just enjoy, because they are good people.
Yeah. Working with them has been actually, initially when I started, it was a bit demanding, because if you're not patient with them, you don't get to get words out of their mouth. But I tend to be patient with them because I have this little son too. Yes, he's 6 years, but the way he questions me sometimes, I'll be like, I think I'm not ready for this. just let me be. But working with them has been a bit challenging because sometimes I just want to get some words from them, which some of them don't want to divulge out. But with time, as some months I've been working with them, yes, some will even walk up to me and say this happened. Sometimes their countenance, I'll be like, I'll just walk up to them. I don't like the way you're looking today. What happened?
Yeah.
Just say something. I'm all ears. I'm here for you. Just, at least the relationship between us has been good, at least to some extent.
Fantastic. So I'm going to say this as we close. And listen to me, parent. You have teenagers under your roof. They are good, absolutely good people. Very nice, good people. So you have them under your roof. You have them in your space. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Rule number one.
Not listening, yeah.
Listen to them. Mom, you're not listening. Dad, you're not listening. Some of them might not be bold enough to say you're not listening. But you're not listening is you're not listening. So listen to them. You know, befriend them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I love with my children, well, they are men now. I think my wife was able to pull that off in terms of befriending them. You know, and you know, she goes about chatting, and you know, she'll walk into their room and sit down there and just start with what do you call this in this TV program? Oh, did you watch XYZ yesterday? Yeah, I did. You know, she was trying to trigger conversation, you know, and then from there, oh, what about that girl? You know, she was trying to get something.
Very smart woman. Very smart.
Which girl, mom? You know, but she was able to do that, and she was able to do it successfully. So parents, please listen. You have to, don't come across as the lion of the tribe of Judah of my home. You know, these days that won't really fly.
Yeah.
You know, you just really have to come down to their level and relate with them and listen to them. Of course, you have to be firm and you have to be assertive because they need that as well for their growth, for their success. So, thank you.